I'm very happy to welcome Mary Byrne into the studio. Mary Byrne,
how are you, darling?
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Life is continuing apace for you.
It is. It's hectic at the moment because I'm doing promotion at the moment for the tour in the Olympia, and with Phil Coulter, who I love very much. And then I'm heading off tomorrow to Scotland to continue my little stint with Grease the musical. So
oh my God,
it's
you must be pinching yourself during all
every
this,
single day. I mean, as I was just saying to you there earlier, and before we went back on the air, I was saying, you know, I could be still sitting on my till, and just beeping through the shopping and having the sing song with the girls and the people who used to come to me. And instead of doing that,
you couldn't invent it, could you?
You couldn't. 2 albums.
Do you keep in the diary of all this as a matter of interest?
No, I have my plaque that I got from Sony, my double platinum album last year, and every time I look at that, I realise how much blessed I was to be given this opportunity.
Because you look back in 2012, just take 1 year.
You know, you had Neil Diamond, you had the Queen, you had the X Factor tour, you had
what was the Queen
the album.
Like?
The Queen was lovely. She was. I always kind of look around the television, you think they're real stiff and false. She wasn't. She was quite nice. She was a lovely lady to speak to and very warm.
Imagine we were able to say that. The Queen's a lovely lady.
Well, I mean, you look at the big stairs over in England, and they have to go on the London Palladium to meet the Queen. I went into, you know, a little theatre in Dublin and sang for her with Westlife and the Chieftains. And she came up and she spoke to me for a long time and took me hand. And
what was she talking to you then?
She just shook me hand and she was saying, your life has changed completely. And I said, it has, ma'am. I said, it's really changed. And I happened to say to her, do you watch the show? And I always remember her expression, oh, not at all, no. No, it's too late for me on a Saturday night. May get to see it on the Sunday, but... Right. Know. And I always said I presumed she had someone recording it for her in the background. You know, one of the princes.
But she had seen it though, not seen it at the time. But
no, she hadn't. Yeah, but she knew who I was.
Right.
She knew who I was.
Incredible.
And she said my voice. She loved my voice. So
there must be a moment there where, you know, did you shake hands with her?
She shook hands with me. And I always, again, when I used to see that, you think it's kind of false. It's quite a grip.
Is it?
That little lady, 85 years of age.
85.
Yeah.
God, they must have had a slight out of body experience as she held
I still do every single day, and when I look back on the pictures of that, I keep saying to myself, "My God, is that me standing there?" And the same with the Neil Diamond thing. Is that me in the room with Neil Diamond? It's hard to believe.
You would want people to take photographs.
Yes.
Just in case your mind is playing tricks on you.
Well, you know, the old Alzheimer's can set in at any stage with me, and I could be pretending that I was with these people. And I wasn't.
You never know. They could just be humouring you.
Exactly.
Oh, it really is amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
It's fabulous.
And the album as well. That's done brilliantly for you too.
It has, and it didn't even make number 1, but it got into the top 10. And I was told just before the Christmas, Universal rang me and said that it had been certified gold.
Brilliant.
Which a possibility it may go platinum this month. You know, so fingers crossed. And thanks to everyone who went out and brought back home and cried and listened. And, you know, yourself.
And you had your book as well.
The book's doing very well. I got a letter today to say that the book has now gone into reprint again.
Yeah.
So there's been some orders put in for that as well. So
that's a fair bit. It's enough for 1 year, isn't it?
And then you have, you know, the old Phil Coulter fella and myself.
Were you aware of Phil Coulter much before this?
Oh yeah, I knew about Phil for a long time. I used to watch him when he had his programme on RTE, you know, An Evening with Phil, and he'd have all the different stars on. That was a great show. RTE and want to get their act together and put them back on again, the likes of them shows, because I enjoyed watching Phil every
we don't
Saturday
see shows like that anymore very much.
No, and they're variety shows and they're lovely, and it's great to see people coming out and singing with one of our own big stars. You know what I mean?
They used to do them very often on a Saturday night.
Yeah, but there was a lot of them on. What was the girl that used to be on?
There was a blonde girl, Alma Coogan, or
but there was another one, and she used to sing. Sandy
Sandy Denny has gone through my head. I know it's not Sandy Denny. Sandy
Patsy Cline.
Yeah.
And God love, I met her there a while ago, and I can't think of her second name, and I apologise.
One of our listeners will know. 53106 Saturday nights used to be, and it was a fantastic show. I know it's probably looking back on it. There used to be a Tom Jones equivalent of it in America, and stuff, but it was a lovely format. It was great,
and it was a nice, a lovely evening for families sitting in and watching some great singers on the stage. You know, like, and singing songs that everybody knew. Yeah, they're missed badly, those shows.
And Phil had one of them, and what a songwriter he is.
Phil, I died of shock when I went into Phil's house where he lives in
Sandy Kelly.
Sandy Kelly, that's the lady, a lovely lady too. I met her twice. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous lady, and I love her. I used to love watching her.
Yeah, me too.
But Phil, I used to go to his house, and I happened to be standing in his house one day where we were talking about records and songs we were going to put on the album, and I copped this big kind of a picture thing standing there, and I seen Elvis Presley on the top, and I went, what the heck is Phil doing with an Elvis Presley plaque? And then I looked at it and it was my boy.
Yeah.
And I never knew that he wrote that song.
A lot of people will tell you similar things. They
proud.
don't know. A lot of people wouldn't know that he wrote loads of the hits for the Bay City Rollers.
He was with the Bay City Rollers as well. I mean, he told me, and then he did Cliff Richard, the Eurovision song.
Yeah.
That just shocked me. I mean, I was in awe of him in any way.
Yeah.
But to hear that, I was even more. And then I was standing there, this little old woman from a till, standing with Phil Coulter, and he was writing a song for me at the time that I didn't even know.
Is he really?
He did. He wrote one. It's on the album. Yeah.
So what's this? How are these shows going to work? It's a week of shows with him. Is it him? Is it you going into his back catalogue, basically?
No, I think we're kind of doing it together. We're partnership in this,
right.
And he's going to be doing a few of his songs.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be coming out and making a lot of people cry with the sadness of the songs that it's on my new album.
Yeah.
Hopefully making them cry. Not anything else, just cry. And just literally enjoying each other's company, and
right.
hopefully the audience will enjoy being with us.
It sounds like a great night.
I'm looking forward to it.
Because there's tales there to be told on both sides,
There is, and I'm going to be having a bit of crack as well.
Yeah. Does he tell tales, does he?
Well, no, I couldn't tell you what Phil says to me now.
Well, I mean, on stage. Does he tell where the song came from? And
yes, he does.
Where he got the idea for this?
He would be very proud to talk about where he got his songs from and you know, what they meant to him. And I mean, one of the songs I do on it is Scorn Not His Simplicity, which is Phil's song.
I was just going to ask you.
It's Phil's song.
I know.
And he wanted me to put that on my album. And you will not believe the shock and the fear that was in me.
I can imagine.
When I knew I was going to do this.
Yeah.
And I remember standing in the studio and started to sing it and feeling as if, you know, he was staring at me. And he wasn't. He was playing the piano and just listening and hoping I'd get it right. But to do it and then to hear it come back, and it's not a bad version, if I might say so myself.
Wow. Because you know the version we all talk about.
Oh, Luke Kelly.
Kelly.
And that was his favourite. And Phil is very proud of that. And he always says, Phil, that Luke was his favourite singing it.
And Luke used to just do it. He wouldn't talk about it. He would just sing it.
Sing it out and blast
it was too
out.
emotional.
Beautiful.
How are you finding it? Because you know what it's about. It's about Phil's child.
Yes, I did. I felt very emotional singing it. And I sing it, I think, for me, from a mother's point of view, of what a poor mother would feel if something like this happened to her. And it's a very emotional song. And my sister, just every time she listens to it, cries.
I defy anyone to listen to it and not cry.
Beautiful
I just wonder how a performer manages to do it, because I don't know if I'd be able to sing.
For me, as a mother, I would imagine the love you would feel.
Yeah.
The hurt, the fear.
The fear.
And the whole lot of it all being combined together. And that's when I was singing the song, that's what I was thinking. And that's why it came out so soft, because I'm not a soft singer.
Yeah.
And that's why that song came out so soft, because I literally just took it into my heart. And it just poured out.
Oh, that's going to be beautiful. That's going to be a great week of gigs. That's very
I hope so. I hope it's going to be great. And a bit of fun as well, because we don't want people going in there just, you know, and coming back out feeling depressed either.
You won't do a Bay City Rollers song, I know.
Well, you know, if
Bye Bye Baby.
Bye Bye Baby. I'll probably do a bit of that now. I'll ask Phil, can I do a bit of that on the stage? Bye Bye Baby, baby, goodbye.
What a great song.
Be a great bit of crack.
With Les McKeown on the show, you know, the singer.
Yeah.
He's still performing.
Lovely.
And it's even, you know, they got no money. Well, that's another.
No, I know,
For
I've
another
seen him.
day.
He was on a reality show there about his addictions.
Yeah, he's had all manners of addictions, and he's done very strange things.
Nice guy, though.
Yeah, lovely guy.
You know.
Bit messed up, I'd say.
Yeah,
they were big in the States.
We're all messed up.
Yeah, that's true. This is very true.
It is.
Several number ones in the States, which I think exposed you to a level of success that just railroads.
Yeah, and you have to be ready, and you have to have people around you.
Are you finding it hard?
Oh, well, I wouldn't be as successful now as the Bay City Rollers.
Still.
But I
the Queen knows your name.
Yes, I know the Queen knows Mary Byrne, and so does Prince Phillip. And he says to me, what are you doing next after this? And I said, Neil Diamond. He goes, great fella, and walks away from me. And I'm standing there going, hello. I'm still standing there waiting to talk to you. He's a real kind of, he reminds me of a real bio. You know, a good bio.
That's his reputation.
Yeah, he would.
You can tell the glint in someone's eye. Do you think there was a glint?
He has the glint in his eye, and he's 90 years of age.
That's incredible.
And he has the glint in his eye. God bless him.
That's an ambition to have, isn't it?
Bloody
Still
well
have
is.
the glint when you're 90.
Well, I mean, my glint is starting to come back again now, but it was gone for a while. But yeah, 90 years of age to have a glint, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Brilliant. Did you find? I mean, I know on the TV show you were finding it hard. That must have been living in a greenhouse.
It was 4 months. Believe you me, it was 4 months of grueling schedules.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was only saying today again, I don't know how I did it. I really don't. And I look at the young kids, and they could handle it. They could handle the hours. They could handle the tiredness. But emotionally, it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
And I found it very emotional. And I used to see them struggling with it as well. But I knew what I was struggling with. They hadn't got a clue. Like, they hadn't lived. I'd lived, and I knew that these emotions were all natural.
Yeah.
And I could handle it a little bit. But I remember getting on the stage many times and just wanting to burst out crying after singing and telling, Simon, I'm going home. I don't care.
Did you mean it when you said it, or was it just a kind of a, pay a bit of attention to me?
No. I mean, the attention I had was unbelievable. Yeah. From
it's an arm around you a bit, though, isn't it? There's a bit of I'd say. But
I had that now with Dermot. Dermot was very good. Dermot used to give me the old hug and tell me, buck it up there, girl, you're grand. So I had people around who really did give me the lift that I needed. But yet there was 1 or 2 times I wanted to come home. It was so draining. Yeah. And I kept saying, what am I doing this for? I'm 50 years of age. What the hell am I doing here with a load of young people?
Yeah, and now you know why you were doing, to meet the Queen and get the glint out of Philip's eye.
That's it. Right. I'm so glad I did it. Yes. Very proud.
Also, though, it's exposed you to an awful lot of just attention, and when you wrote your book as well, you have that attention. Yeah, do you find that hard to live with?
Sometimes. Now, I mean, I was in Downey's in Ballyfermot there on Saturday night, and there was a 40th birthday. One of the Gannons, which were our friends of mine, was having his 40th birthday. And they all wanted photographs. Now, they all know me from many years ago, singing in Downey's. Yeah. And yet they still wanted photographs. And I couldn't grasp it because they're my friends. Yeah. But I was delighted to do it. But as soon as everybody's seeing them getting the photographs, I had young girls running over. No, you're not going back to your seat. Yeah, I want a photograph. Yeah. So that kind of, it was nice. But at the same time, I wanted to sit down and have a pint.
Right.
So that's the only thing.
That gets you a little bit. You don't have that moment to yourself.
It's the only thing, though. But then most people, once they get their photograph and they say hello, and they just want to wish you well.
Yeah, exactly. Of course.
That's all they want to do. So, you get over it and you smile and you're happy that people still are interested.
Yeah, small enough price.
Ballyfermot is still interested in me, and I'm living there all my life.
And a part of the big thing there is that you lift everyone's spirits by doing it. To see one of our own doing well, and as you say, at 50 to go and do something, it gives everyone a little lift.
It gives them a hope.
Yeah, hope, exactly.
And it proves that it doesn't matter who you are or where you are, and whatever your career choice is, you can get out there and do it. And this stigma that the older you get, nobody wants you. Well, then you push yourself in their faces and you do it.
Absolutely. And the more you can beat that down and give people a bit of hope and say life's for living, the greater.
Just because you go over a certain age doesn't mean you should be forgotten.
No, definitely not.
It means you should start living another life. Start from the life you left behind. Leave that little bit of behind. You're rearing your children, your jobs and all that, and get out and do a little bit. If it's just painting a picture, if it's just writing a book, or maybe just wanting to kick a ball around a pitch.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it.
As a matter of interest, have you been watching The Voice at all?
Yeah, I have. I seen it last night. I was watching it the other night. I think it's quite good. Yeah. And I tell you now, I was only saying there, RTE need to bring in a bit more of those shows. And the likes of The Voice is a start, and I hope it does well. And I think more people should tune in. Because last night I was watching it, I can't think of the guy's name, but the 4 judges turned right around to him.
Yeah.
And was it last night or Saturday night?
Saturday night. No, Saturday night, yeah.
Well, whatever, yeah.
Was it no. Yeah, it was last night.
No, it was Friday night.
Yeah. You're losing it completely now. Stick with Sunday.
Right, okay, we'll stick with Sunday. Right, we're in on Sunday.
Right.
And I just seen the 4 judges turn right around to this guy. The guy had a great voice.
Yeah, that's great.
And I just said to myself, no, that's what we need. We need new talent in Ireland.
And what do you think of that concept of not seeing the person?
Better. 10 times better. Because you're not judging the person on what they look like. Yeah. You're not judging them on their personality. You're judging them solely on their voice. And I think that's fantastic. Because you're blind. Yeah. Well, I hope they're blind. I hope it's not a...
No, they are.
They're blind to this guy, well-known, this guy or this girl standing behind them singing. So they're literally just listening to the quality of that person's voice, and in their head they're saying to themselves,
I can hear a star in my head.
I can hear a star there, or I can hear someone that's going to be just mediocre. Or
no, it's great. Fair play to them.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, and I got a good review from Liam Fay, which is an unbelievable achievement for any Irish TV show. Yeah, unbelievable. Brilliant. So these dates are the only ones that we can get to see you in, are they?
At the moment, the 8th to the 13th, I think, of May.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to it, and I want everybody to come. Yeah. And people say, oh, well, you want them to come because they want them to buy the tickets. Well, obviously, but I still want to see my people there.
The combination of you and Phil, I have an awful lot of time for Phil. He's one of the great songwriters. And he used to be, I don't know if you remember, but he was over in the street in London where they used to sit in an office and write songs for 8 hours a day. He told me about that, yeah.
Told me about that.
Every 2 weeks.
He's actually in America at the moment. I don't know what he's doing over there. We should ever bring me with him. But anyway, he's over there at the moment. But all love, I send it out to Phil. I just think he's a great guy. And his family are beautiful.
But you're back now for Greece. Greece. You have a bit more Greece before you finish with that.
I am. I'm heading off tomorrow morning to Scotland, to Glasgow, to go back into the Greece show.
Yeah.
And I'm doing 8 weeks of that. I'm doing 2 weeks in Glasgow, 2 weeks in Aberdeen, 2 weeks in Belfast, and a week in Derry.
Will you enjoy that?
I will. I enjoyed the Grand Canal Theatre because I was with my own.
You can go home every night.
And I know this, yeah, exactly. But I know the Scottish and the Belfast. I'm back home down to my own again, Belfast and Derry.
Yeah.
So I'll be okay once I'm with the people.
So the only lonely bit's going to be...
It's just being away from Deborah and my family.
Will you get home at all, or is it there for
No, I
7
won't get
weeks?
home at all because you only get one day off.
Yeah.
You do 2 shows,
work you
Friday
very
and
hard.
Saturday. And it's only one song.
Slave labour.
Slave. Look, I woke up with a gang of lovely looking guys here, you know what I mean?
All
Good
right.
looking kids.
Okay.
And it's okay for me at my age to look and not touch.
Mary, an absolute pleasure talking to you today, as always.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you for having me on.
Look forward to seeing. Hope to slip in and see one of those dates in May. Is it you're saying?
It's in May, yeah.
It'd be a great place to see it as well. But thanks very much for coming.
Thank
An
you
absolute
very
pleasure.
much.